John, what are the issues on the doorstep that you've been encountering this last few weeks?
Oh, the big issue that I'm getting is about jobs, state of the economy, just keeping things moving. People very anxious about their own employment as the cuts and government spending start to kick in. Very concerned about that. Education, servicing the down hospital and across the health service generally. And education, the mess and the 11 plus, the transfer, all of those issues, huge issues. But it's encouraging to say there's very much the bread and butter, the everyday issues, you know.
When I spoke to Jim Wells out in the canvas in Newcastle the other evening, he said one of the issues been raised with him was who was going to be the next First Minister. Are you finding that?
No one has even mentioned it to me yet, maybe because they know my view on, but no one has even mentioned that to me. No, it's okay. Not. It is about jobs, the economy, the corporation tax have been asked about, and health and education. Those to me, are the biggies.
Issues of jobs and the economy. If you get returned to the Assembly for Southdown, what are you going to do to help people?
Well, I'd like to do the very practical things as well, as some of the bigger policies. Some of the practical stuff we can do is actually help reduce the burden of bureaucracy, red tape that businesses face. Some of the burdens that they face and over the silly stuff. We need to get real about how we do that and actually support business and make this the most business friendly place. Planning, we need to look how we do our planning. We're actually reducing and increasing the backlog in our planning service at the moment, which is one thing that business needs a much faster turnaround on. We need to look at how we do that, the investment we have in there. Also in the bigger agenda, corporation tax, how we encourage inward investment and how we encourage businesses. But very much the key to that is how we support those small to medium-sized enterprises. Those are key to growing the economy and rebalancing the economy back into getting more activity in the private sector. But that's a long, slow haul, and actually keeping pressure on the Westminster government as to what they mean by enterprise zones and what they can deliver by making Northern Ireland an enterprise zone.
There have been boundary changes to the constituency, and the analysts say that means there's a lower unionist vote and a higher nationalist vote, and that could put the two current unionist seats in jeopardy, and this could be reduced to a one-seat constituency. Do you think that's a real prospect for Southdown?
I mean, it's a real prospect. The great thing about an election is nobody knows. You can analyse and say all you like, but it's everyone on the 5th of May that lives and votes in Southdown. They're the ones who actually decide what to make up this return to Stormont. I'm going out and fighting for every single vote we can get. I'm hoping that my record over the last 4 years has been somebody that's absolutely committed to delivering better government, delivering for people on the ground, delivering on a shared future and shared space as to how we can share our space in Southdown and spread that across Northern Ireland. What we can do in the economy, our ideas as a political party on education, about putting that first and creating better skills. It's those types of agendas, that agenda that people are interested in, not nationalist, unionist headcount. People are much more focused on their lot in life and what we can do to actually help and support them.
In terms of your own prospects, Jim Wells says that he thinks it'll be a battle for the last seat, the sixth and last seat in Southdown between you and one of the SDLP candidates. Do you think that's the likely prospect for election count night?
It probably is. That's assuming Jim's ahead of me. Remember one thing as well, that I'm a much more transfer friendly candidate and a much more transfer friendly party than Jim. I have actively over the last 4 years reached out beyond the bounds of just of unionism, said I want to work for everybody in Southdown. I would like the opportunity to continue to work for everyone in Southdown, and judge me on the record in the last 4 years, and that we have reached out across the constituency and across the divide here. And I think people are much more focused now on who's working on the ground than that sort of narrow sectarian headcount. But it's certainly, you know, I'm under no illusion of the difficulties that I face. So I do need everyone, if they want a moderate unionist voice there, get out and vote for me.
One of your party election campaign slogans is "Make Stormont work for you." Do you think Stormont this last 4 years has been primarily a success story or primarily one of failure?
I think, I mean, when you look at it, the big success was that it actually ran its term. You know, it's hardly a ringing endorsement. I mean, there's aspects of it were successful, there's aspects of it haven't been. I think it lurched about from crisis to crisis and managed to survive with a bit of late night dealing between you know, Sinn Féin, the UP, and all of those types of things. It lurched. It certainly didn't set you know, a striking new vision of where we want to take Northern Ireland to, and actually, like, it's delivered nothing on shared futures, delivered nothing on the education system, or selection and transfer process is in a mess, or special needs is in a mess, our structures around education boards and education skills authority are in a mess. So it hasn't delivered on any of those. The economy's been going down the plug hole, while you know, in 2008 when the crisis started, the executive didn't meet for, you know, 5, nearly 6 months. You know, those types of things we always felt, you know, were a real stumbling block to the success. So it's lasted the course. We need to start now in May, look at how we do things better. Tom Elliott's idea of actually setting out what he calls the game changer, get a programme for government, and then run to haunt, look at the ministries, so your government's actually moving in broadly the one direction.